Hello there and welcome to Pipsoclock news analysis for the week, August 12th to 16th. And this week we are going to concentrate on two economic calendars, the FX Street calendar and the Forex Factory calendar. And I'm going to be telling you the reason. Now, we are running this news analysis for two major reasons. And the reasons are as follows. Number one, as a trader, whether you are a technical trader or you are a fundamental or news trader, there's a very good need for you to always be aware of what is to come, particularly in the fundamental landscape. Because in technical analysis, you use history to determine the next outcome. But in fundamental analysis, we use what is happening to determine what is to come. You get it? So for us, even if I don't want to trade the news for the numbers, there's a need to know when the news is to come, because when the news comes out, it has the power, it has the potential to change everything. You may be on a trend, riding on a trend and coasting to profits, and one news event can just come out and change everything and wipe out the entire profit if you haven't protected them. So that's why, for the first reason, you want to know when major news events are coming out. So our focus in this regard is on the high impact and the medium impact events. Then the second reason or objective for this news analysis is for those who want to trade the news, so that you know when to position yourself to come and trade the news. And we also try to play with the numbers to give you a guide as to what to expect with the outcomes. That's comparing the consensus with the actual, or the forecast with the eventual actual numbers that is released. Okay, so some other times we also look at the previous numbers, all right, in comparison to the forecast, and then what to expect in the actual. So I want you to give me your rapt attention as we go through this for this week. So we're going to take it day by day. So Monday is gone already. I'm doing this on a Monday night, and as you can see here already, the major events, or let's call it one of the major events that came out here today, is from the US around 19:00, just about 1 hour plus ago. That's the USD monthly budget statement, and it's actually in favor of the US dollar. And ideally, this should drive the USD pairs down, where the dollar is the counter currency. Instruments like the Euro USD, GBP USD, even gold, it should drive the pairs down. Okay, but for the moment it could have, but then you now look at other factors driving the markets, they may rally again. So, but let's get down to what you expect. So when you look at the Forex Factory calendar, you see that in Japan, all is bank holiday all day, all right, and the only event that appears to have the potential to make any impact is the China new loans tentative. There was no time stated for it as at the time I opened this chart, and you now see that there's no other major event. All of them are minor. Okay, so if I refresh this calendar, let me refresh it. We'll come back to it. So while we go to, okay, it's already open. Okay, the network appears to be good this night. All right, so you see here that even the China loans didn't show up again, because it was tentative. No time was specified for it. So we are now going to be focusing on Tuesday, what happens, because today, Monday, actually has been a very quiet day, but it has, fundamentally speaking, but somehow the market was really, once in a while it will break out and then push. And considering the structure and the trend that have been in place, and of course, uh, having pushed off for most of the pairs, it tried to retrace, but then the bullish pressure for Euro USD, GBP USD, gold tried to still push back price. So where it is at the moment, there's an indication that we may be experiencing bullish continuation tomorrow, but there's also an option of price retracement occurring tomorrow, Tuesday. So just have that at the back of your mind. Okay, except if you are scalping, then you can begin to go in and out of those trades. All right. Now let's go to the calendar. now from Forex Factory, let's work from here first, or we may be comparing. Now look at the ones in red. By 2:30 a.m. Tuesday, this is local time, right? 2:30 a.m. I want to let me go to the economic calendar for for FX trade rather. So by 1:30 GMT plus 1:30, that's okay for the Australian event. We'll be having AUD Westpac consumer confidence, and I know that for most of you, if you are watching from Nigeria, you will be asleep by then. So by 1:30, okay, so this is working with our local time here really. Okay, so by 1:30 on Tuesday, you have the Westpac consumer confidence, and here you see that it's a low impact event, but on Forex Factory is signaled here as a medium impact event. Then by 2:30, you have the wage price index. So if you want to trade it, you can actually trade the numbers here where the focus is 0.9%, the previous is 0.8%. So if there is a variation in between the focus and the actual, either by 0.1 point or more, okay, higher or lower, so you know where it will swing. For example, if it comes out at 1.0 or more, all right, you want to buy AUD USD, and if it drops to 0.8 or lower, that means you look forward to selling AUD USD and so on. So that's for 2:30 a.m. So at 7 a.m., a very strong indicator here, claimant count GBP, claimant count change GBP. So now if you have any positions on around that time, there are other events there too. Now the claimant count change, unemployment change is there too. ILO unemployment rate is also there. So these are events that if you have positions on GBP USD or GBP PS, you want to check your profitability on those trades to know whether you should cut your profits or whether you should protect your profits and let it run. All right. But now, if for any reasons you are not on any trade, you want to let the event be released, and then you determine the market trend is determined, then you want to now run your analysis and determine which direction to go. But then to trade the numbers, let's first focus on the claimant count change. The previous numbers for the claimant count change was 32.3K. All right, and the forecast here now is 14.5K. Okay, let's compare that with what we have on Forex Factory. Okay, it's the same numbers, yes. So what simply it means, just come here and look at it. If the actual is less than forecast, it is good for currency, and if the actual is higher than forecast, it is bad for the currency. So indications here are that the GBP USD has a likelihood of going up. So now look at what to expect if you want to trade the numbers. Don't just focus on 14.5K, which is the forecast. Begin to take into account the previous number, 32.3K. All right. So now if the numbers come out tomorrow, and that's Tuesday. So when you'll be watching this, we're watching this on Tuesday. Okay. So if the numbers come out, so this video has to come up this night, and I want to, so that you'll be able to, go through it and take action. So if the numbers come out at 14.5K or lower, so you might see a GBP USD, GBP JPY that will boom, shoot up, right? And let's say, what if it comes out at 15K or 17K or 16K or 18K or 20K? Now, in the immediate terms, it may impact negatively on the Euro USD, meaning that Euro USD may likely at that point react to it, to the negative outcome, that is because it's higher than the forecast. But now, investors will begin to price in factor in the fact that, hey, the outcome is even lower than the previous. So ultimately, you may just go against the pound sterling for a while and then pick up again and start going up. Now, but then other factors will have to come into play also to see how it's going to drive the market. So you want to trade carefully with this, and if you don't have the experience for trading this, you may want to wait, let this news come out and go. Then you now see the direction the market has formed, and then bring in your technical indicators to plot and take advantage of what happens in the market. Okay, so we move on to 1:30 p.m. where we will having the USD core PPI, producer price index, month on month, and the PPI classic or basic. All right, so you'll be having that. I think it's the same thing you have on the FX Streets calendar. Let's check there. 1:30 producer price index, month on month for July. Okay, year on year also. and then the excluding is the core, where you have the producer price index excluding food and energy. That's the core producer price index. Take note of that, please. Okay, so you'll be having that at 1:30. So at 1:30, just look at all the events. If you're a technical trader, just mark your calendar and know that by 1 p.m. you want to stay away and let the news come out by 1:30. Or maybe if you have trades running, maybe watch till 1:20 and then stay away, let the numbers come out, and then you can now make your decision based on the outcome. And for those who want to trade the numbers, of course, you know that if the forecast is lower than the outcome, is bad for the US currency and you want to sell the US currency. And if the forecast is higher than if the actual rather is higher than the forecast, is good for the currency. You want to buy the currency. In other words, you have a GBP or Euro USD that you want to sell, but if it is lower than the forecast, the actual lower than the forecast, you want to sell the US dollar. That means that you have Euro USD and GBP USD going up. Okay, so we move on to Wednesday, and on Wednesday we have by 3 a.m. you have the RBNZ, that's the um, Reserve Bank of New Zealand interest rate decision happening at 3 a.m. All right, for those of you that will wake up to want to trade it, news traders, then the monetary policy decision statement right will also be happening at that time, and then at 4 a.m. the RBNZ press conference will also be happening, where you also be having the speech, of course, by the Reserve Bank president. So governor. So what you have there is, if you can't trade it, just notice if you have NZD pairs, actually you want to stay away and wait for the news before you now take position based on the outcome. But then for those trading numbers, the focus here is already stating that there will be no rate cut. So peradventure there is a rate cut or rate hike, then there will be a massive move expected from the from NZD/USD and some of the NZD pairs. Okay, so take note of that. And at 7 a.m., the consumer price index for the pound sterling GBP will be out. So you want to take note of these two and the numbers as well. Just follow status quo as we have mentioned before. If the forecast, the outcome or the actual is higher than the forecast, good for the pound sterling. If it's lower than the forecast, it's bad for the pound sterling. Same for the two numbers. So you take note of that and know whether to stay out until after the news before you get back in. You can confirm that also with the Forex Factory and see, you can see the same things happening there. On Forex Factory, the only thing they put there is the CPI. All right, so while here on FX Street we have more than that. You have the PPI, you have the CPI, and the PPI data, they are all categorized under medium impact. Okay, so by 10 a.m. we'll be heading to the Eurozone, where you'll be experiencing or waiting for, expecting the unemployment change quarter on quarter for quarter two preliminary, and then the major event there will be the gross domestic product, and those are, yes, both quarter on quarter and year on year for the Eurozone, and of course you have the industrial production. Just follow status quo. Mark your calendar to know if you should stay away or if you can trade it, trade the numbers as usual. All right. And then by 1:30, we head over to the US, New York session, where we'll be looking forward to the consumer price index. And then I think those are the things to be looking at, and the core consumer price index. And then, of course, at night, by 9 p.m., sorry, by 7 p.m., 1900, the governor of Reserve Bank of New Zealand will be making a speech, and then that's for those who want to trade NZD USD. And then on Thursday, you at midnight, about 10 minutes to 1 a.m., you'll be looking at the gross domestic product from Japan. Okay, and that's quarter on quarter, and that's the major event. And then, of course, follow the same time, you also be having the analyzed and the deflator all happening at the same time. Then to Australia at 2:30 for the unemployment change report. This could drive the market for about 20 pips. Yes, that's a major event. It could drive the market for about 20 pips. So you can actually trade it if you want to, trade the numbers. And if you even look at the forecast and the previous number, you can see the disparity is quite much. So, and it's worth trading. Yeah, it's worth trading because whatever the outcome of these numbers, I foresee AUD USD and AUD pairs really moving. Seriously, if you want to stay awake here to trade it, fine. That's for Thursday morning. And of course, you have the unemployment rate too. But the unemployment rates, the forecast and the previous are the same. So there might likely not be a change on that. But where you'll be expecting the major move will be under the employment change. All right, so for unemployment rates, there might not be any much change. And the part-time unemployment, no forecast. So at 7 a.m., we head on to the UK, where we're expecting the gross domestic products, and I think those are the major events there. So the numbers forecast is 0.6 for the quarter on quarter, and for year on year is 1%. Previous numbers 0.7 and 0.3 respectively. And so what you will look out for is any disparity for those who want to trade numbers. But for technical traders, mark your calendar, mark your time, and just watch it release, and then you find where you want to enter according to the trend. Then at 1:30, retail sales is the primary event there. Both the retail sales for the control group, the core retail sales, and all that. All of these will come out at the same time. So you want to mark your calendar for those. And at 18:00, okay, 2:15, between 2:10 and 2:15, there will be two events there. The first speech, that's Musalem, and then industrial production for July, month on month, will be out too. This may not really have much impact in the market, yes. Okay, then I think those are literally what we'll be expecting for major events. Then on Friday, you'll be having the RBA, that's the Reserve Bank of Australia, Governor Bullock will be speaking at 12:30 a.m. local time, Nigeria time here. And at 1 a.m., the Governor of Reserve Bank of New Zealand will also be speaking. So you can take note of those ones. It may not really concern you if you're not trading those and you're not awake at that time. So at 7 a.m., the retail sales for month on month for July for the Great Britain will be happening. All right, so focus will be on the UK. So you want to concentrate on that also to know what to do. The numbers are there already. Previous is minus 1.2% and forecast is 0.8%. So with the way it is, except the numbers are priced in before the release, this may be another major driver on Friday. And at 1:30 a.m., we head on to look at the Michigan consumer. No, sorry. Okay, medium impact event there are the retail sales. Yes, the retail sales. Is it retail sales? No, it's the building permits. Pardon me, building permits and housing starts. Yes, housing starts. These are medium impact events. The way it is, they may, but I can tell. But at 3 p.m., you'll be looking forward to the Michigan Sentiment Index. Okay, then never forget also, same Friday, late in the night, you'll now be having the COT reports. Yeah, the COT reports will also be coming out late in the night. So, but I would encourage you to ensure that you have closed your positions after the release of the Michigan report towards 5 p.m. so that you don't have to carry over any trades into the next week. Okay, so go over the calendar, mark your calendar, take note of all that is pointed out here. Everything you see here is the same thing that we just spotted on the FX Street calendar. So you want to take advantage of this and prepare yourself to trade profitably this week, combining the fundamental news analysis and the market analysis and making the most of it to trade profitably. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next tutorial or in the next lesson. All right, this is from the Pipsoclock team saying to you, God bless you and have a profitable trading week. See you then.